Naz, I want to get your view on all things boxing, okay? In the break, you were talking to Benny about Ben Whittaker, and I didn't hear the conversation.
I wasn't talking to him about him. He was talking to me about him.
Okay. What's your view on Ben Whittaker?
Why are you laughing?
Do you notice I wasn't never going to pull you up on that? Yes, you were. I was never going to do that.
Do you know what? The truth is, I've got nothing bad to say about Ben Whittaker.
Shout out Ben, good lad, man.
Big up Ben. He's trying to do his thing. I want him to be successful. But people have to understand, when people talk about the second coming of me, you have to look at my son and look no further.
Yes, sir.
My son is my DNA. He's my blood. He will bring all the drama. As you can see, we're wearing drama too. So, do I like Ben? Do I like his style? Do I like the way he fights? Do you know, to be honest, it's just, there's something missing. I have to say it. If you're going to get in a ring with somebody that's Central Area champion, I just feel like he should have exploded and he should have took him out. And I feel for him because I feel like the pressure is on Ben Whittaker. I mean, for them to let him come out and do a tribute to Naz with the same shorts and the music and whatever. Obviously, I know he weren't going to do no front flip over the top rope or come out on some flying carpet business. But you know what? He did his thing. Any kind of tributes and stuff like that, then it's not that they're bad. I just think if anybody should have been doing anything remotely like that, it should have been my son. But I'm happy for Ben to do what he wants to do. I just think they should just take the time with him and not talk about these huge things when he's barely getting past people that are Central Area, not even British or European level. So I just want him to get that experience first. I want Ben to get I want for him what I want for my own son. I want it for him to box on a regular. I want him to prove himself, to do really well, and then jump up in class and know that there's levels to this game before I'm the second coming. Or he don't hardly ever talk about me, and I like that. He doesn't mention me much, even though I know it's a big influence and he's trying to be that guy. But I just want him to be himself. I'd rather him be Ben Whittaker, and I want him to do really well. I like the guy. You know, he's always showed us respect, and he showed Adam love.
Oh, you know what? He's a really good lad. Boxing aside, you know, I bumped into him at a boxing fight, and
he's a nice guy.
Yeah, and his dad come up to me as well. His dad's a lovely man as well.
Yeah.
So shout out to the whole Whittaker family, man.
Yeah, big them up.
Big them up.
I want to get your view on YouTubers, okay? Because we've got a fight coming up where Mike Tyson's going to be 58. He's taking on Jake Paul. What's your view on all things? Well, in fact, what's your view on that for a start? A 58-year-old Mike Tyson climbing back into the ring. Are you a fan of it, Naz?
I don't think it's about whether I'm a fan or whether I'm not. The way I'm going to answer this to you is that's just the way the circumstances are right now in boxing. My sport's gone back. We haven't gone forward. I was just talking to my man about football. There's incredible footballers every year, but it just seems to be that boxing has took a step back. And the viewing figures for MMA are crushing boxing figures. Why? Because they're explosive. There's knockouts and there's some crazy stuff happening. Now hopefully boxing is with Riyadh season, with the Saudi input, with, you know, it might be different. It might get different. But we've sat back a little bit and there's not unbelievable fighters coming through, and it's so sad. I thought after me stopping in 2002, there'll be loads of amazing talents, but there isn't. I can't see them. I'm looking for them. I'm just so happy that my son has decided to do what he's going to do, because I can look at him, God willing, and think, you know what? God willing, you know, you're going to be the best.
Can you understand how hard it is for some boxers when they choose to fight potentially a YouTuber because it's about the money rather than obviously go the traditional boxing route and become a world champion?
This is why, really and truly, everybody's expecting me to say, oh, it's killing our sport and it's the worst thing for boxing and why should YouTubers... Do you know what? Why not, man? Let it... Listen, if that's where the sport is at the moment and that's what's been let in and that's what's making some serious money, bring it come. So what?
And it's a different crowd, isn't it? It's just adding more to the boxing scene, you know what I mean? Different eyes. And I think anyone that's hating, really, they're just hating because they're not in a position to be able to jump on that platform and make that sort of dough in a fight.
Do you think, though, potentially, because if it happened for you, for instance, because we know full well, the only reason Jake Paul's fighting Mike Tyson is because of his name, Mike Tyson. Yeah. So obviously people are going to approach you because of your name.
100. I'm on a different path. Like my dad said, you know, we're taking it steady and we're being realistic, but I'm chasing greatness. I'm trying to get the titles and I'm trying to put my name out there, be respected for Adam Hamed, not Prince Naseem's son, not Naz's boy.
Yeah, that's definite.
Let me ask you then, because what you've just described is something that, depending on your view, but can be good for boxing. More eyes, I think, is what you said. Something that's not good for boxing is boxers that take performance-enhancing drugs. And Ryan Garcia this week has failed a voluntary drug test. How does that make you feel, Naz, when you hear a boxer in your sport has failed a drugs test? Because it does bring the sport down, doesn't it?
It's not good for the sport. But listen, me personally, I don't know if that's 100% true. I don't know if it's just been said. But I can't comment on that like it's 100% happened. I'm hearing what I'm hearing, but it's not good for the sport. You're 100% right. No, we don't want anybody in the sport doing them kind of things. It shouldn't be allowed, and that's it. And that's why there's rules. There's rules to our sport, and you can't do them kind of things. And I will never ever. I'd never sit up here and say it's okay with me. It's very bad, and I'm totally against it.
Nas, did you ever know of any boxers when you were fighting that took them and didn't get caught? You don't. Obviously, I'm not going to ask you to name names. I'm just curious if you knew about it or you knew people that knew about it.
No, to be honest, in my day, it wasn't really a big thing. I mean, I thank God so much because I didn't, with all these like vitamin tablets and all these drinks and all these different kinds of stuff that have got nothing in them whatsoever. They just, for me personally, I didn't even have to take anything like that. I always used to say that I drink what lions and tigers drink. I drink water.
If they are found guilty though and say it is 100% that he did do it, what do you think the punishment should be for people?
Can you repeat that? Sorry.
If he's found guilty 100%,
yeah.
What do you think the punishment should be for people that are caught doping in your sport?
Well, that's heavy. What should it be? I mean, everybody would normally say you're out. But
like I don't know. Someone fighting your son was caught.
I don't know, but who am I to say what it should be? Who am I to say, oh, they should be finished or they should be scrapped? Or look, what's gonna happen is gonna happen. I don't know. I don't know. For me personally, all I'm saying is it shouldn't be. It's not a good thing. It's not for us in our sport. We don't want it. And it shouldn't be allowed. And that's it.
Now, so I've got a couple of questions for you, but then I'm going to end on your son because it's all about him today, right? So my last couple of questions to you. One's a bit of fun, but one's a serious one. We've got Usyk against Tyson Fury coming up soon. Who do you think will win that?
I'm hoping Tyson Fury is going to win that fight on points. I just believe if he stands up in the 12th round, I believe he'll get his hand raised regardless of what's going to happen. I think it's going to be a hard fight. All I want him to do is I just want him to stand on his feet. That's all I want to do. Stand on his feet in the 12th round at the end of it. And I believe, God willing, it should be a points win to him.
Okay. My penultimate question to you is, you retired at 28?
I never retired.
Okay.
I stopped boxing when I was 28 years old. I never officially retired. So you don't know me and you could just...
Okay.
I'd love to see that.
No, I wouldn't do that. I don't want to do that.
Would you?
I don't. No.
I'm not asking you for a fight, by the way.
No. Listen.
I was going to ask if you miss it.
Stranger things have happened, yeah.
What, are you suggesting that you might come out of retirement?
Stranger things have happened.
Would you fight again?
God willing.
Naz, look at me.
Naz,
look, I'm over here. Naz.
Listen,
Naz.
Firstly, let me say one thing to you. I set my legacy in an amazing way in this boxing world and took it to the dizzy heights of boxing. You know that. It's hard for anybody to reach that kind of level. But I'm from, I believe, a country that's not well off. My parents are from a country, I should say, they're from Yemen. And I would fight for that country in regards of doing something for that country, to do something for me and for them in charity-wise. That's for what they've been through, and the same as Palestine. We stand for Palestine, man. For what they've been through in the past, I don't know. God willing, He makes it easy for them, easier, because it's been bad, man. It's been dreadful, and that's why when I look at the Middle East and what's happened in the Middle East, as a father now, it hits my heart. What's happening in the Middle East and what's happened in Palestine and what's happened in Yemen and you know, the poverty, and it's just, that's the only time that really deep down in my heart that I'd want to fight, to do something on that basis. So I'd love to go into training and go into training regardless, and just, you know, you never know if we could do like me and my 3 sons be all on one card in the Middle East. That would be one of my dreams.
So if Jake Paul offered you 20 million, you'd fight him?
Jake Paul?
Yeah.
Jake Paul don't mean nothing to me.
No, but I'm just saying you would come out of retirement for 20 million.
20 million? What's 20 million?
Is that, do you want more? I mean, I don't know how much Denny's promised you, but
no. 20 million, 100 million, or even 200 million doesn't change my lifestyle. You need to understand. I'm a man that gets on his hands and knees and put his head on the floor 5 times a day. I'm humble. Ain't about that.
Okay.
So you need to understand something. Fighting for a country, for somebody to do well, for somebody to raise money, an obscene amount of money, then I could think about that. Okay. And I could get out of bed and do some serious training and get fit and maybe do for that, yes.
Put me in with Jake for 20 mil.
That's what we're on.
I'll take the 20 M.
That wasn't a route you said about 5 years ago.
20 M.
That's right.
You know, I was waiting for make it 21. I mean, hey, listen. Before we let you go, Adam, just remind everyone when, hopefully, fingers crossed, we can see you fight again.
Yeah.
When will that be?
Hopefully, we're planning on maybe late June, but if it's early July, God's the best of planners, and we're just going to take it as it comes.
Okay, will you promise me one thing? When you become world champion, will you come back in the studio? Leave Dad behind. We don't need Dad then, all right?
Yeah.
Just you. Is that okay?
1,000,000%. I really appreciate your time.
Right, listen,
and thank you for having us.
We absolutely appreciate your time. Not just your dad, we know he's a superstar, but you're the next superstar in the family line.
God willing, brother. Thank you.
We really appreciate
Listen, I just want to
in.
tell you guys at talkSPORT, sometime there is legends that can come in here and do interviews, yeah?
You looking at me when you say that?
I'm just letting
Naz,
you know.
will you promise me?
You know.
Will you promise me you're coming as well, Naz, again? Because we absolutely love you.
Listen, after speaking, I'd love to.
Okay, we'll be
after
honest.
speaking to Denny today, I've Spencer Oliver, Malik O'Brada. After speaking to them, listen, I'm sure that you'll see us back in here.
Okay,
God willing, inshallah.
It's a day. Thank you so
Nice
much,
to
both
speak
of
to
you,
you.
and
Thank
you
you
too
very
as well.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.